Hello and welcome. You're watching World is One News with me, Jessica Taneja. First up, the news we're tracking for you throughout the day. Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency has issued a notice to WION's Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui. Taha has been asked to appear before the FIA's counter-terrorism wing. The notice goes on to say that non-compliance will be punishable under Pakistan Penal Code. This comes after the investigation agency was restrained by the Islamabad High Court from harassing Taha Siddiqui. Pakistan recently has been cracking down on free speech, especially on social media. And Taha Siddiqui was asked to appear for questioning by FIA. In response, he had filed a writ petition in the Islamabad High Court. We have our political editor Kartikeya Sharma also joining us live on the broadcast. Kartikeya, this is certainly trying to curb, free speech on social media or otherwise. These are just tensions mounting for a journalist who's just doing his job.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Yes, that's the basic issue here, that Taha is being prevented from doing his job, and not only prevented, he's being intimidated by FIA, and despite the fact that there's a High Court order on this. And very shortly we'll be joined by Ahmed Shaheen, senior journalist from Pakistan, and she is online with us from Pakistan. So I'll straight away go to her. Ma'am, my first question to you is that why is Taha being called by FIA again and again when High Court, the Honorable Court, has pronounced the order that he should not be intimidated?
It's a very interesting case, Taha Siddiqui, because Taha is the only person that there's little information available. They say it's something about he has been writing, and that comes under the ambit of his professional work. But it's the interesting part of the whole development is that the Interior Minister is not giving a clear-cut idea to the local media here as to what kind of violations have these 12, 13 people done. And also, even more interesting was the fact that he created a hodgepodge of excuses, even mentioning blasphemy as one of the potential issues when the opposition parties were trying to take the side of the people who are being harassed. So it was very confusing for the local media as well, that it was all about Taha's work about regarding the military, but now words of blasphemy are thrown in. I mean, it's very dangerous to throw in those excuses in Pakistan, as the international public also now knows.
But Mr. Shaheen, Pakistan is it's a functioning constitutional state, and there's a High Court order. How can any other branch of the executive violate the order given by the High Court? It's like saying there's a Supreme Court order, but the center in New Delhi doesn't listen to it. Isn't it unconstitutional?
It is completely unconstitutional, and it is a textbook example of contempt of court. I'm not really aware if they have recontacted Taha Siddiqui, but if Taha has evidence that he has been recontacted.
In fact, Mr. Shaheen, let me update you. He has been recontacted and is being intimidated and, as you said, harassed.
I think the court needs to look into its own integrity and needs to take serious notice of that. If this is not contempt of court, I don't know what will be, if that indeed is the case.
But Mr. Shaheen, contempt of court can only be, contempt of court is very, very evident. But the larger question here is that how can a journalist being called without giving an explanation on what grounds he should be questioned? It's like someone being called because state feels that he needs to be questioned, but you need to have a ground, a case, a charge sheet to question a person.
That's absolutely correct. You need to be accused of something before you're asked to explain your position. You can't accuse me of nothing and then ask me to explain my overall position of my whole existence. And that's the kind of questions that have been raised to the Interior Minister of Pakistan, because he is the main person behind these kind of crackdowns towards activists and journalists. But at the moment, they're not taking a clear stance. I think Taha's option is the legal option, and the journalist community and local unions need to put their weight behind Taha's case and say, I mean, this is not acceptable. I mean, if you're not listening to the courts, if you're harassing journalists, then what next?
Okay, I think that's a strong point you made. Thank you for speaking to us. So, Jessica, I think Mr. Shaheen making this point very candidly that the options which are available for a Bureau Chief Taha is there. One is judicial, which is, again moving the court. But the fact of the matter is the court has pronounced a verdict. So, we'll have to wait and see till we get in touch with Taha again.
Absolutely, and we'll continue the fight for our colleague Taha Siddiqui there in Pakistan facing such extreme actions.